Hello, goddesses. We're excited to be with you today. I love seeing all your faces. This is so fun. This call has been opened up to the women who are in events that change lives. So some of you are here because you're in events that change lives. Some of you are here because you're in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, and some of you are in Leverage. So we have all of our amazing tiers of women rocking business gathered together. And this is really like office hours with a coach. So for those of you who might be just meeting me for the first time, I'm Megan Neely, and I am a trainer in the Leverage program, as well as the Lotus coach. And I am here for you to answer all of your questions, especially around leading events and having your powerful enrollment conversations, your grow conversations, really giving you feedback on anything that you've been struggling with in your business. I am here for you. This is your open office hours, extra Q&A time. So I just want to open it up right now to have you raise your hand if you want to ask a question. So you can raise your hand with the right on your screen. If you're on your computer, it'll give you the raise hand button. And if you are on the phone, I'm seeing a few hands raised. If you're on the phone, you press *9 to raise a hand so that I can see you there as well. And I'm going to open this up so I can see my list. All right. So Elena, I see your hand raised. First, I'm going to unmute you if I can. Oops. There you are.
Here. Hi.
Hi.
So yesterday in our ELA training call, we were talking about storytelling, and I'm still my story is not connecting with who my signature talk is for. And so I feel not authentic about how I'm starting my story. And I'm just wondering, is it okay if I have not had like this major life-changing success in the thing that I'm trying to help people to become successful with?
Oh, yes, absolutely. What a good question. And how many of you have had some of that kind of feeling? Like, I haven't quite had there. Yeah, I saw some faces of recognition. Yes, you're not alone in this. And the one thing that I would share is that you want to have some examples of how you've helped others have that success. And then you can share those pieces. And that doesn't mean that they have to be clients. So it can be someone that's a friend or a family member that you've helped through this challenge. So what is it that you're supporting people with?
So I support parents of young babies, newborns, all the way up through preschoolers, but my target audience right now are parents with newborns. And I want to help them first and foremost to be able to soothe their baby and so that they can sleep, get the baby to sleep so they can sleep and survive like that first 3 months when it's so new and fresh. And then beyond that, help them to establish healthy sleep cues and things like that. So when my baby was a newborn, she was a rock star. And so I really don't entirely have that experience. I mean, yes, I was definitely sleep deprived because she woke up every few hours, but she started sleeping, in longer stretches of time rather young. And she was pretty easy to soothe. It was only when she turned 2 that I was like, I thought I was doing all these things correctly. And now she's inconsolable and she won't go to sleep and she won't stay in her own bed. And so that's when I felt like I was losing my mind. And now that ever since then, I've just been constantly learning how to get her to do all these things. And I just feel like, gosh, if I had known these things that I'm learning now, I could have had a foundation so that when she turned that corner at age 2 and wanted to be really social and, all the things that kids do at age 2, I would have had some skills because it was just too easy for me. Like, in essence, I mean, it wasn't easy. But so like, is that a story that will resonate with new parents? Like, they aren't even there yet. They don't know what to expect. They're going to be like, lady, what are you talking about? That's not our experience at all. You're talking about a 2-year-old. So that's why I'm stuck.
Yeah, so this is great to get to work through your story a little bit, and for all of you that feel like, okay, well, my story, I don't know which parts to tell of my story, because of course our stories, as I'm sure you were getting in the ELA call, the stories, they're much longer and more detailed than what we have an opportunity to tell people. Most of the times it's between 5 and 10 minutes, what we're sharing for a story. So we've got to condense it and collapse time.
Right.
And so as you collapse time, I would encourage you to talk about how, when you first had your baby, you thought that it was just normal that she would wake up every couple of hours, and, you were pretty relaxed with that. And things started to get worse actually when she was 2. So I wouldn't necessarily talk about how she was the dream child.
Right.
They're not going to love you right away for that if they're really.
No, they're going to be like, oh, really, lady? So why are we here with you?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you would talk about what, some of the challenges you did have, and then how once she was 2, it actually got more challenging. And how the part that really stood out to me was when you said how you wished you had known these skills sooner. You wished you had known these pieces sooner, so that you could have had, you could have been training yourself and her along the way.
Yeah.
And that's what drives you, is what I'm imagining. That's part of what drives you. And so to speak about that's what drives you to be able to help these parents now with their babies, so that they have these skills and they don't have to take years trying to figure it out on their own.
Yes, like me.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Okay.
That's where you're relatable to them. And it's also true that you've spent years figuring these pieces out, and this is why you're passionate about it and why you want to help them. And then you'd want to insert a couple testimonial stories. And do you have any of those yet, of people you've worked with?
Yes, I do a little bit. They're not exactly from when I was was helping them with sleep in particular, but I do have parents that I taught when their babies were little, and I have like really old quotes from them, but I do have have some.
And so it's one thing to have the quotes and those pieces that you can actually put on a landing page or a website. That's great. And I'm also talking about, for all of you, when you tell your stories, inserting a client story or a story of a friend that you've worked with is really impactful. So you don't actually have to have it in a quote format, but just knowing, oh yeah, this person knows what's happened. So for all of you starting to think about, what could I share that adds credibility, where it's not just about you and your relationship with your child. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel better about it, because I was feeling like it was not quite connecting, but I'm getting, and I feel like it's okay. Like, my story is going to resonate. I think. Yeah.
I just actually,
testimonial. Yeah. That sounds.
Yeah. I feel inspired to share a piece that just yesterday I was talking to Serena about story, actually. And, I was saying, like, I still always struggle with trying to find the best story. And I imagine some of you can relate. It's like trying to find, like, what's the right story or the best story.
Yeah.
And she reframed it for me. And so I just want to pass that on, since we're talking about story. And I wrote it down because I liked it so much. Let me look. And she said to ask, how do I tell this story in the most compelling way? And that really shifted things for me. It's like not trying to look for a different story or another way, but, oh, here's a story that you have to tell, and how do you tell it in the most compelling way? And so for all of you on the storytelling front, I would encourage you to try that question on. I thought that was a sweet gem from her that was too good to keep to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully
thank you.
That helps. Yeah, you're welcome. And I see, Tanya, your hand is up. Let me unmute you. Hi.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit frazzled, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm just about to launch my Soul Gifts program in September. And I've got a few questions. I'm not sure which one's the most important.
We've got plenty of time. So I invite you all to take a breath. sometimes we can feel like we're on a race in our businesses, and especially on even the Q&A calls and the questions like, I got to get the question. And we've got plenty of time. So I'm just breathing. There's always time for breathing. And I would just say, start with what's the first layer, the first question you have, and then we can go from there.
Okay. I would say the first thing I'm doing is putting out my newsletter this month, and because it's pre-launch, I'm kind of just looking to sort of seed my Soul Gifts program. But you know, with my newsletters, I usually just talk. I'm just quite stream of consciousness, but I'm just thinking to be more proactive about this. I'm about to launch this new Soul Gifts program. What would you recommend I really need to put in there? And how would you recommend I did it?
Yeah, so to launch a program, this is a great question around email sequences. And I know you're in Leverage, and so we definitely have email sequences. I'm sure ELA, you have some email sequences examples as well in your forum. But launch emails are a little more specific. So I love that you're getting comfortable and you've been comfortable just sharing your stream of consciousness emails and you're in communication. But I would recommend that you actually sit down and map out how many weeks you have between now and when you open doors for your program.
Yep.
And then that you're sending at least 1 or 2 emails a week that are taking people through these sequential steps of engagement. So if you imagine someone walking down a path and you're at the end of the path showing them the open door, they need to walk just one step at a time. And a lot of that is about building connection with you, building trust. And so you want to have some emails in there that do share things like the testimonial stories, to share, sending an email out that just shares about, oh my gosh, I have to share this story. It's celebrating my client. And she just did this amazing thing and it's too good to keep secret. Like that kind of email that people get to see, oh yeah, there's other people out there having success working with you. That would be one. You'll also want to share some value-based emails that are leading people towards either a Facebook challenge, if that's part of your launch, or a webinar or Facebook Live. However, you're going to be speaking to them in the virtual realm. You'll want to have some lead ups that encourage them for why they would want to join you for that virtual training, for that live stream. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So you'll definitely want to be strategic about those things. And then once you open doors, and we have email sequences in the forum to talk about, doors are open, the program is here, and you're opening up for having discovery sessions with people. So at this stage, you're not offering discovery sessions in your emails. You're waiting to offer those once your doors are open. You're inviting people in, but you're letting people know, like, if you think about the steps that people are going to go through in your program as well, how could you write emails that start to relate to those steps and invite people to think about those elements for themselves? So,
brilliant. I have a kind of related question with that, because as I've said, I've not been very intentional with the way I've communicated with my mailing list over the last maybe 10, 15 years. I've just given them what I feel like giving them. So changing...
Nothing wrong with that. It's great that you've been communicating with them for 10 to 15 years. That's good. Congratulations.
But it's just, when I've really been communicating with them like once a month, if I'm lucky, giving them a newsletter. So I'm just thinking, would you recommend I start communicating with them in this new way quite frequently and consciously? Should I kind of ask them if they want to? Should I kind of create a new mailing list, a kind of Soul Gifts mailing list, who I kind of communicate with more intensively, and leave the others to get the monthly newsletter as usual, or is there a way of kind of weaning them into this new way of communicating, because they'll think I've had a personality transplant?
Well, what you can do is actually be transparent about saying something like, I know I've been communicating with you only like once a month for, you know, the last however many years, and I realized that I want to be in more connection with you. There's more that I want to give you. I want to be more generous with my time and sharing with you. And so you're going to hear more from me over the coming months. And there's going to be people that unsubscribe. So just know that right away. And for all of you, just know that it's totally normal. Every email that I send and that Sage sends, people unsubscribe every time. This is totally part of it. So know that if they start to unsubscribe, they're not your ideal clients, and don't worry about that. But for the ones that are your ideal clients, they're going to be excited to hear more from you. And you don't want to overwhelm them, so you're emailing them every day right now, but it could be once a week. That's a great way to start.
Fantastic. Thank you. I have got some other questions, Megan.
Yes, go for it. And know that these questions, I just want to say that these questions can also help everyone else. So when you're hearing these, think about for yourself and whether you're launching right now. And I just want to speak to this because you might be thinking, oh, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not launching right now, or I'm not doing this. Everything applies to you, because when you're growing a business, you're going to launch at some point. You're going to get to the stage, and you can just tuck these nuggets away so that you have all the answers when you're ready to go. So thanks for asking these questions, Tanya.
Thank you. I usually kind of shy away from doing this because I think nobody wants to hear from me, but I'm pushing through that. So
hear from you.
There's another thing that I have to do this month. I need to write a kind of article about me and my work for this other website. Mm-hmm. And also I've approached a magazine that I really like to write an article for them because it's, you know, I want to get some something out there about my soul gifts program, etc. I mean, I'm just wondering, how do I seed it subtly? Because I don't, you know, obviously no magazine is going to want me just to talk about my soul gifts program. Have you got any guidance on?
Yeah. So what have they got you? Do they have a topic that they want you to write on? Well,
the one I'm approaching, it's totally new, that I don't even know if they want me to write anything. But the first one is basically about my facilitation work, my one-to-one facilitation work, and, you know, about my spiritual journey, the awakenings I've gone through, etc., and what makes my work unique. And I'm just wondering how I could kind of bring what I want to the table.
Anytime there's an article opportunity, again, for all of you, anytime you have an article opportunity, you want to think about how can you provide the most value to the person who's reading it. Now, unless you're like Madonna, it happens to be her birthday today. I love Madonna. So I'm thinking of like, unless you're like someone like Madonna and you're like, ooh, what is she thinking? Or what is she wearing? People don't really care all that much about your transformation until they get to know you, or they have some reason to care about your transformation. And the reason that they care is because you're speaking to the challenges that they're in, that they're experiencing in their life, and you're relating to them. So you always want to start with that. Start with speaking to, you know, I would think uncovering your soul gift could be the article title, for example, in your case. And you're talking about, you know, I'm just riffing on this because I don't know exactly what's going to be in your program, but it could be something around, you know, do you feel like there's something that your soul's been longing for to come through and you haven't been listening? And here are, you know, 3 ways that you can start listening and tuning in, or here's one practice to start listening and tuning in. And so you give them some questions, just like a signature talk format. You're questioning them and you're asking them, pulling out what is the challenge that they're in. And then you're giving them some content and maybe an exercise that supports them in their own discovery. And then you can share some about your own story. And then by that point in the article, they're gonna care more, and they're gonna want to relate to you in your humanness. And then, of course, you'd have your link your bio, and people can check that out. And you can even drop the few hints in there, like in my Soul Gifts program, this is, we take women on this kind of journey, and then you could add in, again, a quote or a couple stories that are really short from your clients and their journeys that they've gone through as well. But you'll want to definitely start any article with really relating it to, imagine someone's Google searching and it's 1 a.m. and they're alone in their house. What are they Google searching? They're not Google searching like, I want to read about Tanya's life. They're reading about and I'm saying that with so much love, and I remind myself of that too, because of course it's easy. We want to.
You don't know how exciting my life's been.
No, I do, and I also know that we all feel this way. Like, oh, we want to tell our story, but people need to have an entry point, and their entry point is the struggle that they're in and what the challenges that they're going through, and then they want to hear your story. So meet them where they are with their middle of the night Google search. So think about that for all of you when you're writing a story. Like, what are your ideal clients really looking for? What do they want to find out more about? And then weave your story into that. Does that make sense?
Brilliant. Yes, very much so. Thank you very much. And the next question is about, I kind of thought, well, I'm launching, and I've never really been very intentional about my launching, but I've got from September to December to get the news out there about this program. And I thought, well, I'm going to, you've probably seen this on the forum, but I'm going to Berlin to do some journalism work and some conference moderation. And I thought, well, why don't I set up a signature talk while I'm out there? And I just thought, what on earth am I doing? That's going to, I'm already quite burnt out, but I think it would be a really good opportunity because I'm going to be out there in October. How do I do that without getting burnt out? I mean, I like the idea of wherever I go, I'm going to Berlin, then I'm going to Arizona, and then I'm going to Hawaii. And it would be really nice to kind of like do a little talk everywhere. But, how do you play this? I mean, you always seem so serene and cool and collected and healthy. How do I do that and still do these things?
A lot of self-care is really the answer. So having a signature talk in each of those places isn't really that much work because you have the same talk. That's one thing I would recommend, that you're not redesigning and having a different talk in every place you go to, because you'll have a different audience in every place. So streamlining is the first thing I would look at. How do you streamline and just have one talk that you're giving? And then making sure that you have plenty of downtime and self-care time. I mean, for me, it's really about having boundaries around how I use my time and structuring my day so that I make sure that I have a lot of self-care time, which could be going for a walk or getting some form of body care time, having meditation time, yoga, dance, like making sure that I'm taking care of myself. And so you're not working to the point that you feel like now you have no time for your own travel and your own fun, because that's what people want to feel in you. They want to feel your radiance, and people actually care a lot more about how you're showing up energetically than what you have to say.
Yeah. I understand that. Sometimes I kind of think that I can do more in 3 months than I actually can, So I'm very good at putting lots and lots of things on lots of burners, and then suddenly realizing I'm really tired and I need a lot of energy for something I'm doing. So that's my tendency. So I suppose probably I need to step back from that and just be aware that that's my tendency.
Yeah, be aware that it's your tendency, and mapping out your launch plan. And for all of you, when you're in a launch mode for a program, making sure you make your plan for when are you going to be having those talks and when are you going to be going online, and not making it bigger than it is. Like the fact that, you might be doing 3 days of Facebook Live in a row or 5 days of Facebook Live, and you've got promotions for that beforehand. That's not actually taking your entire day.
Okay.
right? And don't let it energetically take your entire day. That would be my advice, because energetically we can work ourselves up to the point that now we're giving days of our life energy in concern for this thing that's going to happen, instead of just being present in the moment that, oh, and now here I am, I'm showing up, and then I'm going to show up over here for friends or family or the dogs that are snoring behind me, which you probably hear.
No, I can't hear. That's really valuable. That's really, really helpful. And I think that was probably it, but let me just have a little quick look. Yeah, I think it was just also, name of signature chalk, something like 3 keys to unlock your unique soul gifts. I mean, that isn't something that everybody can relate to, is it really? So I don't know what you think.
Well, I think it definitely relates to your program, and you don't have to have the same title, but 3 keys to unlock your soul purpose.
Yep.
Could be clearer, or 3 keys to unlock your purpose, or 3 keys to follow your calling.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Like soul gifts, I love, but it's not a term that everybody's using or understanding. So you always want to think like, what could relate to more people? What kind of term might they be searching for? Again, if they were Googling it, are they searching purpose, clarity, or are they searching soul gifts?
Okay, that's brilliant. That is so helpful, Megan. Thank you so much for all the time and all
You're
your energy.
welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks for asking so many valuable questions. All right, I see a couple more hands raising physically. I'm just going to go through the ones that are raised on the virtual, like the side panel first, and then I'll get to the physical hands. So, Flory, I just unmuted you.
Hi.
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 Hello.
Can you hear me? Hi.
What
First,
questions do you have?
I want to start with a quick celebration.
Yes.
I've celebrated this a bunch of times, but I just did my 4th or 5th Facebook Live, and for the first time I wasn't nervous.
Yay!
And like, I just love it. I was out of my mind nervous to be doing it, and I only did it because my board of directors held me accountable. And now I'm just getting all this feedback that people love it, and yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm curious what changed for you this time, Flory. What do you think was different that allowed you to show up without nervousness?
Just doing it 4 or 5 times, just getting okay, this is what I do, nobody's there for a couple minutes. Okay, 6 people are there. Oh my God, 12 people are there. I don't know. Doing it over and over again till now it's in my comfort zone. Yeah.
So good. And that's so fast that it's in your comfort zone after like 5 times. And I really want to name that, because so often we can think we're supposed to just be masterful at something and not feel any tension or nervousness when it's the first time. And that has not been my experience. And I actually think that the nervousness can show up when we really care about something.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that it's on, because it's taxing too.
It's hard on the nervous system
for the whole day, and now it doesn't do that anymore. But it really works for the visibility. Like, I'm getting feedback that people are like, "Wow, you're really an authority on this." I'm like, I don't know. I just started doing this not that long ago. It's a new niche for me, but.
Yeah, but you are an authority. You are an authority, and that just proves that when you're the one standing up at the front of the room, whether it's virtual on a Facebook Live or in a physical room, people start to see you as the authority because they're not doing it.
Yep. It's a big deal. So,
awesome.
So my question.
Big celebration. Congratulations.
Yeah. I just love other people's celebrations, so I thought I'd lead with that. So my question is, a new stretch in my comfort zone is I'm going to be doing a Facebook challenge in 2 weeks. Still don't totally understand. Like, I've never participated in a Facebook challenge. So I just wanted to kind of run a few things by you.
Totally.
So I'm going to do 5 days. I usually I usually do my Facebook Live Mondays at 11. So I thought I would integrate that as the first day. I'll be promoting it, trying to get people to opt in ahead of time. And then, so that Facebook Live will be the first day. Okay, Okay, deep breath. I've got a lot of questions.
Can I just say something about that first day? So you're inviting people ahead of time, and on that first day, because it's your regular time and you'll have people just watching anyway that might not have heard or seen that you're going to have a challenge, that would be the first day to offer your opt-in gift as well, so that you're encouraging people to opt in and telling them about the Facebook Live series. So you can use that first day.
Okay, so the opt-in is the opt-in to opt into the Facebook challenge.
Yes, well, so what we recommend is that you actually have something that they can download right at the beginning. So they have a checklist, or, you know, it's a 1 or 2 page something for people, so that they can, I get to read something, have something. It could be a report, something short, and then you have the challenge as the next step for them. So on that first video, you can talk about the free gift, and then
so you opt into the free gift, and then you get the free gift in your inbox, and then with that welcome email, then there's an opt into the Facebook challenge.
Yeah. So exactly. So you can have 2 things. They get the free gift, and then you have a thank you page that comes up after people have opted in for the free gift. And on the thank you page, say, here's a 5-part video training that we're offering as the next step, and make sure it relates to the free gift. So why they would want to join in on that 5-part video training, and then just say, click here to join us for free. And that'll take them to the Facebook group that you've started, so they can opt in to be a part of your group.
And the 5-part video training is the 5-day Facebook challenge.
Exactly. And then you also send an email and let them know they can opt in and join, so that you're giving them options a couple times.
Okay.
Yes.
And then day 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm thinking to go live so my Facebook Lives are Mondays at 11, to go live at the same time every day.
Yes, that is ideal.
Okay.
And people have consistency. They know where to find you, when to find you. Yes, same time every day. We recommend when you do your Facebook challenges that you start with either 3 or 5 days, because it's hard to keep people's interest for any longer than that.
And then maybe on the second day, definitely on the 4th and 5th day, I want to bring people on for laser coaching. So I'm thinking to do that with Zoom.
Yes.
So I go on Facebook Live, and then I'm inviting people with a Zoom link to hop on over to Zoom, or how do I?
Yeah, great technical question. And all of you are going to need this at some point when you choose to do Facebook Lives where you're coaching other people and you're bringing other guests on. So I'd recommend writing down these pieces for any of you who are thinking, oh yeah, I want to have this as part of my strategy. So when you do a Facebook Live through Zoom, you want to use the Zoom webinar feature. And this is different than this kind of Zoom. So right now we're using Zoom meeting, and you see everybody's faces. In Zoom webinar, you get to control if it's just you that's showing, or if other people are being invited on, and people raise their hand and you choose which one you want to be split screen with. And you can invite a few people on. You can be split screen with 3 people. I wouldn't recommend having more than that on at one time. I think it's great to just have one-on-one at a time when you're in the coaching, laser coaching session with them. But you use Zoom webinar, and you go into your Zoom account and you click on that webinar that you've created that would be like Facebook challenge, could be your title, and you start it. And then at the bottom of your Zoom screen, it'll give you an option where you can share it onto Facebook. And then it'll ask you, where on Facebook do you want this shared? And you'll want to share it to your business page, so that you could boost it, and you could make it into an ad, basically, if you wanted to. Share it out to more people. So you share it to your business page. Then people are watching it on your business page, ideally in your group as well. You could share it into your group from the business page, or have someone else share it for you if you have an assistant. That's the easiest way, have somebody else share it for you at the time that it's live. So if people are in your group page or your business page, then they're getting to watch and comment, and they can be commenting right on Facebook. And then you would have the link for the Zoom access before you go live. You would have that in a little description written out with the link right in there that you can copy and paste when you go live to Facebook, because it'll ask you what you want to post on Facebook before it goes live. And then you can copy it right into there and say, to join me for laser coaching, head on over to Zoom, just click this link, and then they'll be able to join you there. So you want to let people know that you can't coach them if they're only on Facebook. They need to join you on Zoom. Does that make sense? Yeah.
What if there's nobody there?
That's happened to me. So I can speak to that. So I have made the call on the spot if not enough people are watching to not talk about it, to not announce. So it might have been in the comment, might have been in the links there, but if people haven't hopped over, they're only watching on Facebook and they haven't joined on Zoom, or there's only one person on Zoom, then I'll just make sure that I have content that I can speak to. So you always have a little extra that you can go into, or maybe you tell a client story, or give an example that relates to a certain, like I've taught things like enrollment conversations, and instead of bringing someone on to act it out with, I've played it out myself and done both sides of the role. Like there's ways you can improvise. So just thinking about what is the content you're going to be teaching in advance, and always have a backup plan for what to do if people don't hop on and ask those questions.
Do you have any kind of guidelines around number of people who should be there to choose to do the coaching?
No, I mean, I just think if there's only like one or two watching, it's risky, because most often people get nervous about being the one that's going to hop on when they don't know you. It's not like they're registered in a program.
Yeah.
And there's also no harm in just saying, we're going to open up the lines and see if anybody wants some laser coaching. No pressure. This is totally an option for you. We just have a few minutes to dive in and give you some customized support. And then you can keep teaching. And if nobody raises their hand, you can say, some of you will be watching this recording and you didn't get a chance to get laser coaching and hop on live. I encourage you to post your questions right in the Facebook thread. My team and I are going to be checking later, and we will get back to you right away. And so you're just looping back in the people who may be watching later, because that's the thing about a Facebook Live, is that not everybody is watching when it's actually live. Lots of people are going to go back and watch it later. So you want to make sure to include them in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the majority watch it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, in terms of affiliate partners, it's pretty much a local group.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 day-long retreats spread a month apart. So I could maybe pull from maybe 2 hours away. I don't think, a lot of people who live far away would sign up for this. So there's only 2 people in Leverage who live within 2 hours of me, and I'm recruiting them to be my affiliate partners.
Awesome.
Yeah. But, it's a lot to make the affiliate promotional materials just for 2 people. So I'm wondering if you could help me think outside the box of anyone else that I could try to approach, like a yoga studio owner, or it's a group for healer entrepreneurs. It's business coaching.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would think about anywhere that you could, any kind of healing related work. So it could be, yes, definitely yoga studios, because they would have a bunch of yoga teachers working under them. So think about any of those kind of practice spaces where it's not just one person that does everything. But if there's a place that has multiple massage therapists or body workers, spa, definitely yoga, chiropractic offices, I think of all the kind of healing. And just looking at a list of all of those places that are local, it could be even dance or fitness related.
And then I'm asking the owners to promote it to their list. And then maybe it won't be like a JV partnership. Then it'd be more of give them a percentage of the sales, or
yeah, exactly. So you could give them a percentage if anybody hops in, and you could encourage them also to why they would want to share this in particular with all of their staff. And let them know that you're encouraging them to really think more like a business owner rather than just showing up to teach their one class, but that this could be, really impact their sales and what's happening in their yoga studio or their business when their employees start to, or their contract workers start thinking like their own business owner as well. So always paint the picture for why it's going to benefit them, why it's worth their time, not just necessarily for the affiliate commissions, but for how it's going to impact their business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. As a side note that you just reminded me, I think it's a good idea. I was thinking to approach all the local yoga studios and say, hey, do you want me to come in and just teach a little module on business skills in your yoga teacher training?
That's actually how I started. And people would hire me to come in and teach the business element because I have over half of my life in yoga teaching background. And I ran other yoga teachers, multi-six-figure businesses and international retreats. And so people started asking me to come in and do teacher training segments and then also teach, come in and even have a meeting. Like maybe they have teachers at the studio. They're not in teacher training anymore, but they've got a bunch of teachers that are totally unwieldy and not doing anything to market their classes. And it's really frustrating for studio owners. Studio owners across the board are super frustrated, just trying to make money. And so they would love that. In most cases, everybody I ever talked to was like, please come and help me. So come in and offer that for free. And then you can invite the yoga teachers to have a discovery session with you from that. So that kind of grassroots level is going to be, my guess is even more impactful than the online piece when you're working with affiliate partners, because affiliate partners really work when you can have people from anywhere opting in. As far as the online affiliate partners, but local affiliate partners, when it's local, they want to feel you and see you and be with you in person. So that's where you'd want to start scheduling out talks in the community.
Right. So
and it's a win-win because they bring the people.
Yeah.
You have them there and they have the space. You just show up with your same talk.
Yeah. I know. I wonder how much I should even be putting into this Facebook challenge versus, I did 2 signature talks. I'm going to maybe book a third, but maybe Facebook challenge isn't really the way to go with a local group.
I would recommend the local talks as your priority and encourage you to do more than one. Like if I was you, I can just say if I was you, I would be going to every yoga studio in the surrounding area and every like wellness, any place that has a group of people that are working for them where I could offer that same talk, because it's gonna, like, sure, you spend one evening a week for 4 or 5 weeks and you're gonna fill your program.
I think this is the last question around the content for the Facebook challenge. I was thinking the first day, this is my Facebook Live, a guided visuals. See, this I don't know if this works for a live. So a guided visualization to like, what's your dream business?
You can totally do guided visualizations on Facebook Lives. I mean, if you watch people like Gabby Bernstein, for instance, she does things like that, and has thousands of people watching. So go for it. Yes. And you want to make sure that you're also getting them into action. So you make the link between, yes, have the visualization, and then what are you doing to take action to create this in your life? Because the challenge with working with healers is they are going to love the visualization, but they are not necessarily going to want to take the action step.
Right.
You'll want to speak to that, right? Just openly, that it's essential that you not only meditate on this and dream about manifesting it, but what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. And then day 2 is what's in your way? Where are you getting stuck?
Awesome.
And then I may do some laser coaching there to like help people get to the roots, because I usually start with the external, but like what's the internal, mindset thing. And then the third is give them different kind of launch plans, and then announce the contest, which is create a draft of a business plan for the year, just a draft, and maybe do a quick video saying what it is. So they're working with
so you're getting their engagement.
Yeah. And then wait. Oh no, fourth one was announced is just questions and answers about the plans, I guess. So this is the next day, questions and answers about the plans. Maybe I foreshadow the contest on the third one, so they have some time to start working on it. And then the fourth one, question and answer, and then keep rolling in your video. And then the fifth one, I announce the winner and do some laser coaching.
Awesome.
Why they're the winner. And then the winner gets maybe a half VIP day with me. I don't know. That's a lot to give away. And
Prizes have to be pretty big to get engagement. Like we've given away spots in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy from Facebook. So think big.
Wow. Would it be better to be given like $1,000 off my program? But then people don't even know what my program is.
Right. So the challenge with giving them $1,000 off is if they're not already wanting it, they're not at that level, it doesn't feel like the same. You're going to have probably more success with the VIP day or half VIP day, because then you're going to get to work intimately with them, and you'll also be able to take them through the grow process as well in that time and find out how they could benefit from being in your program.
Okay. So I announce the winner, laser coaching, give feedback on people's plans. And then I'm going to tell a little bit about my program and offer discovery sessions. That's day 5.
Exactly. Yeah, perfect. And I want everyone to notice that you're following the grow model in your Facebook challenge. So overlaying the grow model over anything you're doing in your signature talks, in your Facebook challenges, Facebook lives, live events, the grow model should be there through all of it. So that's perfect. You've got it laid out really well.
And I was trying to find a way to also use this for my email launch, but it doesn't quite work. Like just resend the video to my email list leading up to announcing the group program over email.
Yeah. I would recommend that, because then you're sending something every day as well. So you always want to, when you're doing an online component like that, like having the everyday Facebook Lives, you'll want to send your list an email every day as well, letting them know, here's the link, watch this video. Why watch this particular video? People are not going to engage with every single part of the Facebook Live series necessarily. Some will, but there'll be lots of people that just are attracted to one component and they want to watch that one video, and that'll be their hook in. So, or maybe they only open the one email out of 5 from you, so they only see that one and they watch it. So that's why you want to email every day.
What do you think about then at the end of the day, like, hey, here's the video. If you missed it, go and watch it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Put it in the email, like download it to YouTube, and then they can go there, or
don't download it to YouTube. So we recommend sending people to watch in your private Facebook group.
Okay.
So that at least they're joining in on your private Facebook group, and you're getting that benefit of transitioning them not just from the email, but they're also in the group.
Okay, so then at the beginning of the day, hey, check out this video. It's coming live at 11. Tune in soon. And then at the end of the day, hey, you missed it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You can send it that way. If you're sending the one at the beginning of the day, you'll want to tell them when you're going to do Q&A, when you're going to open it up for Q&A, why they would want to join live, because they'll get the opportunity to have laser coaching from you on this particular area. So being specific about what you're going to help them with.
Okay. I think that's everything.
It's a big project. Congratulations.
Yeah. The last thing is, so my list is like, I do this other group program that empowers women. So 75% of my list is not necessarily healer entrepreneurs. So it's like, I don't know, I have to be kind of careful about blasting them. I don't really have a question there. I guess I kind of already know, like every once in a while, I'll just send it to a segment who've opened the last 5 emails.
Exactly. So you can send it, if you have them segmented out, that's great. You can send it that way.
So then if I'm using this as my email launch as well, then at the end of this week, I'll just launch my group program to the whole list.
Yeah, then you're announcing your group program and you're opening up discovery sessions with you.
Okay. Okay. And then this ends on a Friday. So do I really want to announce my group program on a Friday, but then I don't want to wait till Monday?
You can announce it on a Friday and then have opportunity for sessions to be booked with you. And I would recommend opening up your that weekend to book sessions. People love having discovery sessions on Saturdays. That is one of the hottest days.
Really?
So, although normally,
I never offer Saturdays. Okay, I've never tried that.
Yeah, which is, of course, we don't normally work on weekends either, but when we're launching and opening doors for Loveridge or ELA, we always have coaches available on the weekends because there are lots of people that aren't available any other time. And, or they think they're not. And so it's a great way to have just to make sure you're catching those people.
Okay. Well. Thank you so much, Megan.
Yes, you're welcome. I just
want to put a shout out to everyone who was doing this. Man, it's so nerve-wracking. Like, this is my 3rd year doing this, but because it's a new program, it's so hard to not take it personally when people don't sign up for this first workshop. Everyone signed up for the discovery sessions, and then I just kind of flopped the discovery sessions, which just sucked because everyone was so jazzed. And then the next workshop didn't go as well. And then I was kind of when I announced the discovery sessions, I said, because my schedule is limited, really only sign up if you think you might be interested in the group program. And I think that's 2 people only signed up for my discovery sessions.
Yeah.
And now I've been sending them emails. Oh, I really want to have a call with you. And I think I just have to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
to the 3rd workshop, just keep going.
Yeah, and it is this fine line between you want to talk to people who are serious, right? Yeah. You don't want to, your time is valuable, and you want to talk to people.
A million discovery sessions with people who are never going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's no harm in saying, it's not necessarily that they know that the program is for them. So I would just look at that. And for all of you, this is good to know when you're trying to language these kind of pieces. It's not about saying sign up for, my schedule's limited, sign up for a session if you know that the program.
No, don't say that. They don't even know the program yet. But if you think you might be ready, if you think this is something you might be, if you are serious about launching your business,
yes,
and you want to try this on as a possible vehicle.
Yeah. So I would just say something like,
regardless.
Yeah, I would say something like, if you know that this is the time you're ready to create more freedom with your time, your bank account, your energy, and this is the year that you're going to make the changes necessary to live the kind of life and have the kind of business that you've been dreaming about, I want to talk to you. I'm gifting you a half-hour breakthrough session, whatever your title is, breakthrough session, and I've limited spots on my schedule, so I recommend you book your spot right now.
Nice. You are a rock star. Sign me up, Megan. That sounded
Yay!
Good. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to move on so other people get time, but thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for all your questions, Flory.
Yep.
All right, Penny, I'm unmuting you.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Penny.
Hi. I'm kind of wondering about the Facebook because with me, Facebook versus Live, I'm looking for parents to pay for the program, but the program's actually for their high school kids. So I guess with Facebook, should I try to go to sites like PTA sites, or I don't know what kind of Facebook pages I should look for. I help high school kids get into college.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely kind of PTA sites, or I would be connecting with high schools in your area as well, that you can actually give talks in potentially, or that you could have flyers up about, or connect with guidance counselors at those schools as a resource for parents that want more support, making those kind of partnerships, and yeah, looking for those kind of pieces online, but also just thinking about how parents are on Facebook. They're not, it's not about necessarily being in the groups that they're in, but just that they're scrolling through Facebook. So if you do Facebook Lives and then you boost the post, and you can choose demographics, so you can choose like parents, and then it asks you other questions, but you could have well, I would just choose parents. I don't know how specific it would let you get around the age of kids, or, but starting to play with that in the Facebook boosting ads section, so that, you can boost for $5 a day or $10 a day and do a series of those. And so that they're showing up in parents' feeds is probably going to be most effective.
Right. I already have gotten talks at some of the high schools.
Great.
They do want you to be there personally for those talks. So yeah, I'm kind of limited to locally for those talks in the high school. I am going to start a campaign with guidance counselors, but I think the parents that boost.
Well, I have an idea though. So if you connected with guidance counselors from different schools that aren't necessarily in your area, and then you say you've got a master class, here's a link online where and let them know that from the masterclass, parents can actually book a free 30-minute consultation, like college consultation session with you, and that feel free to, they can send this out to any of the parents that they're connecting with.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you.
That would start to broaden it. Yeah, that's the first thought I have.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I'll try that. Because I can get the counselor list easily.
Yeah, and I would say things like, I know how overwhelming it is, how many parents you have to talk to, and you could arrange an affiliate commission for them, of course, letting them know, if parents decide to work with you and get more support, you're happy to give them 10% or whatever your agreement is.
Okay, very good. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Any more questions?
That's it for now. I mean, I've got a couple of talks scheduled in September, so and I've changed my program a little bit. Instead of having a junior program and a senior program, I'm just going to do juniors and take them all the way from January to January, January of the junior year to January of the senior year. That's where all the action happens for college applications, and getting to know themselves and knowing what their majors are and stuff. So I've changed that. So
Awesome.
That's going to be more appealing. Although it's more expensive, it'll be more appealing, I think. I was chopping it up into small sections, and I'm finding that the kids who signed up stay anyway.
Yeah, the longer, for all of you, the longer your programs are, the more consistency you're going to experience in your income, and the deeper the work is going to be that you get to do with your clients, and the bigger impact you're going to have. And so we definitely always recommend having those longer stretches of time to get to work with people.
Yeah, because I'm seeing in the junior year, most of it is just getting to know themselves, and getting to understand who they are, what their gifts are, what their skills are. It's almost like personal coaching. And then we get into the applications in the summer, like in August, right before the senior year. So.
Right. So yeah, start seeing how you can think outside the box for having something that's pre-recorded, where you can be sending people a link, any of the affiliate partners, whether it's the schools or the guidance counselors that you get connected to, and yes, still focusing on the parents, like speaking to the parents, because they're the ones that are going to pay, and they're the ones that are more concerned about it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is tricky because the actual client is actually the child, but the one who pays for it. So,
right. Anytime you're marketing, and we've said this before, but anytime you're marketing to have anyone that's under 21, basically in a program, you're really marketing to the parents.
Yes. Right. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome, Penny. Thanks for questions.
Okay.
All right, Tamar, thanks for your patience, and I'm going to unmute you. There we go. Oh, wait 1 second. It's not unmuting you. Oh, now you are.
Hi, everybody. I was just going to say that what everybody's sharing is pretty valuable. I have some some questions about it, but I want to get into my big questions so that,
Yeah.
and so where I've been is really getting stuck inside of distinguishing myself as far as what my business is. So I've gone back and forth of business and money, money and business. And now I just decided I'm just going to be a money coach. And part of it is that a part of the issue that I'm running into is one, I think I do end up looking at other people that have been doing it for a really long time thinking, wow, they have so much content, and I just feel like overwhelmed inside of just like, I can't even put together a signature talk and they've got 80 emails coming at me. And so there's that. The other thing is I'd love to be, and I'm usually not, I definitely feel like, around that. And the other thing is that, I'd love some help finally around my messaging because I've been playing with it. I went back and I played with it and I thought I had it. And then now I don't know if I'm just listening to too many people and somebody will say that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. And then it's like, then you're back to square one trying to get everybody to go, I got it, which can happen.
Happy to give you feedback today on that. And I just want to speak to the first piece that you said before we dive into that part around the comparison mind is that you are at the beginning. And if you are comparing yourself to where someone is 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, of course, it's never, ever going to look the same. And they had to start where you are. So it can be fun to go back and actually compare yourself to someone else's more beginning. Like an example of that is many of you are probably familiar with Marie Forleo. And she actually has her beginning videos up on YouTube. And so if you watch her beginning videos, they're shot like in her kitchen on, I don't know what, but it's dark and the sound isn't good. And the background sucks. And then you compare to her later videos and she has a whole video filming studio with a makeup and hair and clothing design team and her personal stylist and scripts and sure, comparing to that, but she had to start in the kitchen with the handheld thing before she ever got big. And so right now we're all way better off than that because of technology. We all know how to make ourselves look way better. And we have all these skills of, the signature talk formula and to bring in our credibility right from the beginning. And so we're already better off than people who were starting 10 years ago, but we just didn't get to notice them then. We're just noticing them now. And you're in the build-up right now. So I just want to celebrate you for right where you are and to make sure you're only, you're not wasting that energy on comparing to people who are further down the line other than letting them be an inspiration for where you want to be.
Absolutely. And I mean, part of it is that I think that that's part of it. The other thing is just that I know that, when they created their first signature talk, they probably sat around for hours trying to figure it out. But, all the content is so seamless after you've been doing it. Like you look at Sage's book, had my assistant doing I was like, stop downloading the notebook. There's like 150 pages. We're only in 2 months. There's so much content. So yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And it's just, and also feeling like, where do you reach yourself where you feel such a mastery of your content? But I guess, that's why, the price is kind of related to where you're at. And, and it's, a lot of it is probably very similar. It's just that the way that you view yourself.
Absolutely. And the other thing I would say is for all of you, you're more accessible right now. And that's the advantage that you have with your clients is that where someone else who might have the 80 emails queued isn't actually reachable in most cases. They're not able to be there to book a last minute session or to even work with people one-on-one in most cases. And so let yourself really acknowledge how the benefit that your clients are getting by getting your one-on-one time, if you're still incorporating that, and for all of you who are incorporating that, that's actually a huge gift that you're giving them that they can't get from necessarily just reading a book that inspires them.
Yeah, and then one of the other thing that has come up for me as far as the signature talks, I mean, I am someone that could call 1 million people and generate, I'm not shy that way. But as far as part of it might be that I didn't make my signature talk yet. So it's hard to call somebody and say, can I do the talk? So maybe I need to write
Good point. Good point. Write the talk.
Okay. So we'll move on from that.
Yes, it definitely helps when you have something tangible and you're like, I'm ready to go. And if you want to throw yourself off the cliff, you can book the talk and the space and then just have to do it. That also has been one of my methods where I'll typically put myself out there. I've just notoriously done it before I was ready. And I'm like, oh shit, now I have to show up.
I'm doing that with the meetups that I'm doing, and that's working. The only thing that I'm struggling with is that if I call, I don't even, it's kind of daunting in terms of where even to start with mine, because, you know, where do you start talking about, you know, about money? And I don't know, I need some ideas, I guess, for some reason.
Okay. Well, I would start, I mean, with your own meetup. When you arrange your own meetup, then you can just rent any space that you want. It can be a community center space or, you know, like a wellness studio space that is empty at some time, and you just borrow their space. And then people are finding you based on searching about money on Meetup or on Eventbrite. I would also post anything that you're posting on Meetup also on Eventbrite is another great resource because people are searching for events in their area.
The meetups are working. That I'm doing that with Meetup, and that is working. But in terms of getting talks where there's more people in a room, that's where I'm struggling.
Okay.
Fun because I control it. So that I don't, and I even make up, like I've got one on Tuesday, and I'm just going to make up I haven't written the talk yet, but I made up the topic.
Yeah. So as far as looking for a place that you can speak where there's already people gathering around that, you want to think about what specifically, just like what I was saying, you know, Flory had that example, which I'd also lived into as well, of going and teaching business skills to yoga teachers. So it's a really specific group. Think about those specific groups of people that you could go and arrange a talk for, and it's going to be just customized and tweaked for that group of people. So whether it was, going to a group of, you know, healers, body workers, yoga teachers, if you wanted to have that, or if there was, you know, a women's group that you could go in and speak to, looking at other meetups, saying you have something that you could go and bring to them. There's endless kinds of groups and programs that people already have going where they're looking for guest speakers to come in and speak on. And the other thing I would suggest is actually looking at podcasts too, for where you could be a guest.
Podcast today. I got my first podcast.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yay.
Just somebody had contacted me through LinkedIn. So
yeah. Awesome. Congratulations. All right. What's your question around your messaging?
This is so this is the issue with the messaging is that I named my company Tamar Hermes International. I call myself a monetizing mentor based on the fact that I've run companies and done different investment things and that I've created money. So I feel that I know that I can help people make money. And that's what I do. Most of my clients have been business people wanting to make more in their business. They've done really well. Sometimes I look at financial pieces and help them see where they're spending. And so the issue is, what is my headline on my website? And then the second part is I'm calling my signature, my program, my 6-month program is the Abundance Incubator. And that I'm saying birth your new life of financial independence, which I like. Although when I said it to Shayna, she didn't get it. So that's the thing. Like, that's the thing, you know, it's.
So do you help people who are, who have businesses make a profit?
They do make a profit. Yes. I want to focus on more of the money piece now, on being more of a money person. Because I felt like when I was money in business, I felt so watery, even though I will talk about business. Money is you can't make money without business.
Right. So I guess, it's a clarity of wanting to know, like, would you go in to help someone find out where are they losing money in their business? Where could they make more money? And it's really about the money conversation. It's not that you're helping them with the entire business and all the strategy and structure of their business, but with.
I want to do mindset, a lot of mindset, and also help them with the money pieces, with their conversations about money. And because a lot of times I think the reason why they're not making more has to do with the way they're thinking about money. And that's why people don't look at financial statements, because it's all blocks around the numbers and the money.
Yeah, I'm just tuning in to see how could it be more clear. Something like the money mentor for the money mentor on your path to creating a six-figure business, or a money mentor for like breaking through the six-figure ceiling in your business. We just want to be clear that it's for people who have their own business, is what it sounds like you do.
It was that. And then I kind of went back to just trying to talk about money, because I felt really all over the place. I felt like I was talking about, I do talk a lot about business, but I also wanted to talk about the mindset piece a lot.
Well, it's not that it's not that you can't talk about the mindset piece, but you want to know who you're attracting. Are they people that are entrepreneurs and they have their own business, and whether it's just them or they have a team, but there's some sense of that. It's not that it's someone, for instance, that works and has a paycheck and then they also want to learn about money. I mean, that's just a broader niche, so it won't have the momentum as much. So when we want to get you momentum, it's about narrowing in the focus to say, okay, this group, and you can still teach all the same things around money mindset. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So basically, so you're saying maybe just be as simple as saying, because I was saying I help women entrepreneurs make more money building the business they love, but it felt so vanilla. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. It just didn't feel like me.
Well, you could get it to be more specific. And so I get it that sounds really generic, right? But helping women entrepreneurs, that part is clear about who could come to you. So you could
also, I like the idea of making a statement about money. That's why I was thinking, I said yesterday, I said money power for women. And and Shayna liked that, but then I was talking to somebody else. They were like, "Well, what's money power?" But I think that it makes sense. I don't know things that make sense to me. Sometimes people are like, "What?"
Well, you could talk about you mentor, you help women entrepreneurs to feel empowered, and feel empowered with their money. And you could talk about specific things to feel empowered, and I want to add another word in there, because it's not only to feel empowered. You want to speak to the fact that you actually help them make and keep more money, is my thought as well.
Yeah.
I help women. I empower. You could say that I empower women entrepreneurs to make and keep more money. You're getting nods. How's that land for you?
Like that. And you don't think just women? You think do women entrepreneurs?
Well, I'm going with that because that's what you said, and I think it's more specific. And then you can talk about all in your message, like women empowerment, why it's important for you to have women making more money and keeping more money. It's a different conversation that we're in around women and the money.
Like, would you come to me if you wanted? Would you come to me if you wanted power around money? Yeah, I guess.
Well, you'd want to be specific around how, because are you helping them by actually looking at their P&Ls for their business? And
I mean, that's part of it. I certainly can, and I've done that. But a lot of it is also, I really like looking at the whole piece. I like the idea of the Abundance Incubator being a program where you do a deep dive into all the money blocks and all the money pieces and really rebirth your financial independence.
Yeah. So when you talk about doing a deep dive or the rebirthing financial independence, those are where it gets more like esoteric and less tangible.
Okay.
And so I would encourage you to get more tangible in your language. And I'm a total, like, I like that kind of language. So I'm not against that. I'm all about that. Like, yes, birthing your businesses. And so I like that, but it's also not clear to people who aren't speaking that way. So we want to be really clear to everyone, like, what exactly are you doing? And so that's why I'm speaking about you're empowering them to make and keep more money.
Right. And then the abundance. So you're saying just, I help women entrepreneurs make and keep more money, period.
Mm-hmm. Period.
And I'm getting a lot of nods. Thank you, ladies. This is such a blessing. Thank you, guys. I love having all these beautiful faces going, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the abundance incubator, then what would that be? What would that be about? I mean, what would I tag that with?
Yeah, so the Abundance Incubator could be your signature program where you are helping them make and keep more money. So you're having them look at, how long is the Abundance Incubator?
It'll be 6 months.
Okay. So where, you could break it into 3 segments or 6 segments and then outline, what are the steps of that program, just like you walk the steps of your marketable program. So that exercise where you're getting clear on what are those pieces. And then when you have a landing page for the program, you're naming, like, again, the key benefit that they're going to get in every one of those steps. And so if they're going to, if you're going to look at all their, I would say some kind of, you could start with an assessment of their financial reality. Mm-hmm. And like a shameless assessment of your financial reality or something like that. So that you get to see once and for all, like, what have you created both in your mind and physically around money in your life. And then from there I say, well, what's the next step that you're walking people through? So this will depend on the steps of your program, but this would be a good thing to post on the leverage page to talk about, here are the key steps of your program. And then we can give you specific feedback.
And then the other thing that came to me when you said make and keep more money, something came into me, make, keep, and grow more money. Because that's one of the things that I really believe in, and I'm really good at that, is how to take a certain amount of money and grow it. I mean, that's how I've built, a lot of my finances, through investments and through that sort of thing.
Great. So I don't
want to sound like a financial investor, but I do feel like a lot of people don't want financial investors because they just want someone to tell them how to do it and what to do and walk them through it.
Yeah, you could definitely add that in. Make, keep, and grow more money. I think that the shorter a message, and I know we can tend to go the other way of, like, wanting to say more, and you have so much in you and you want to share everything. And I know that I have that feeling myself. And when it's shorter, they can feel like, yeah, that's what I want. I resonate with that. And then you can tell them about growing the money. But at the beginning,
make and keep more money.
Yeah. In the beginning, they don't even know what's going on with their money, and they're not concerned with growing it. They need to know how to make some, and maybe they're making some, but it's all flowing out. And that's the biggest thing that I hear from business owners as well. It's like, well, I made that, but then where'd it go? Right. And so that's more of a concern than growing. The growing comes later.
Yeah, it's funny because I had my original was I help women entrepreneurs make more money, and then I got rid of it and I started doing all this other stuff. So it's just
keep it simple, sister. Yeah.
I know. We always try to. I know, and that's the thing. Now I had two more questions. Okay, so I'm going to go with make and keep more money. The Abundance Incubator. It doesn't have to really have a definition other than it's just going to be it's an abundance incubator to make and keep more money.
Yep.
For that.
Exactly.
That's what I do. That's my jam. And then I'm going to work on my signature talk. I'll post the 6 modules of what the 6 months look like. And then you had said that in the Facebook challenge, you said to go on your business page. But if you go on your business page, then it's public, right?
Right. And that's what you want.
Oh, so when you do your Facebook challenge, so when people sign up, they basically like your business page, not your group?
No. So they sign up in your email list, and then you email them the link to join in and watch the video. But people who are randomly just seeing it come through their feed also will get access to watch. And that's what we want, because we want to be able to collect the emails, but we also want to have a bigger reach.
Okay. So the Facebook, so that's an eye opener. So the Facebook challenge, the live challenge should be done in a fan page, in a business page, not in a, but you can run them in tandem, but you really.
Yeah, you can share it into your group. Absolutely. Just like you see Sage do when she does Facebook Lives, you'll notice that she does them on the business page and then shares them into Women Rocking Business Sisterhood group.
Right.
But she's not only doing them in the sisterhood.
Right. I was on live this morning and I was on my computer and I was instructed to just hit the share button, but I didn't see a share button. Do you have to do it from your phone into your computer? Is that what the problem was?
It depends if you're using something like Zoom or Be Live or those third party.
It wasn't. I was just using Facebook.
So yeah, so usually how it works on Facebook is you need to share it from your phone into the group, because you need to have another device open. So whether it's another computer, phone, iPad, some other device open that you can share into your personal group. And if you can't do it at the same time, it's fine. You can share it afterwards as well. You can share
Well, you know what I did, which was kind of funky? I actually had my phone up and I just hit live on my phone. I just had both going and it worked. I mean, it was actually kind of cool because someone actually was watching in my group. I didn't even realize it, but it was great because no one else was watching. So it was awesome. I had somebody on there because I did both.
Perfect. Yeah, you could do it. That's great. I've never heard anybody say that. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. You could have both videos going.
I wouldn't recommend it, but it worked. I mean, I had a plan B because I wasn't sure if it would work. So I just figured, if I want them both live, I got to figure out something.
Yeah, that's perfect. Good. Resourceful. Yes. That's awesome. I love that.
Okay. And then, let me see if there's anything else that I had a question about. About the discovery sessions. So right now, I feel like a lot of the talk's been about get people, to get those discovery sessions. So that's what I've been doing. But then I feel like if I do a launch, I've already been offering discovery sessions. So it's not like, hey, I'm opening the doors for the discovery sessions.
So you feel like you've been offering discovery sessions already, and now you're going to be offering more, and you're afraid.
Well, I just feel like it's not like the doors are open. Now I have a few spots for discovery sessions are open because they've been open. Yeah.
So what I would do is change the name of the discovery sessions. So now you're offering something new.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing breakthrough sessions, and then I'll offer something different.
Right. So is it just called breakthrough session?
Well, I have a money breakthrough session, and then I also have just a life coaching breakthrough session because I'm also trying to get private clients with life coaching just because I just want to, get more income in.
I would give them something like a money map session where during our half hour together, we're going to create your customized map and plan for making and keeping more money this year.
So should I change my money breakthrough to money map session?
Just for this launch. Yeah. So what I'm saying is when you're...
Because that's kind of what I'm offering in the money breakthrough session. So you're saying change the money breakthrough. When I do the other one, just call it a money map session.
Yeah. So that there feels like, oh, there's something new happening. And for all of you who feel like, oh, well, they've already had these discovery sessions. Well, how can you just shift it a little bit so that people feel like, oh, this is a new thing. This is a new kind of session. And I'm interested in this one, changing your languaging a bit.
Okay. That's a great idea. And then let me see if there was anything else that I had a question about. As far as the launch, we've talked about launches and how long the launches need to be. And so because I've been so wishy-washy about this and that and the other, my launch date was supposed to be October 1st, but now I'm not sure if I have enough time to really do everything.
And well, I think that this comes up all the time where we tell ourselves a story like, I don't know if I have enough time and to do everything beforehand. And October 1st is a long time away.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You've got plenty of time, and don't believe the gremlins that are in there saying like, oh, it's not going to work, because the truth is when you do something like a live, you have to go live on those days. And when you send those emails, you send them on those days. So even if you're writing the email that day and you're sending it out that day, that's okay. You're building it as you fly it, but you just make time in your schedule for the one piece at a time. And when you're in launch mode, you're only doing one step at a time.
Do you batch your emails?
Yeah. And I've also been in the position where I've needed to be writing them day by day because I haven't been ahead of the game, and it happens. So don't make up excuses for why you need to push the launch out for anybody. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to make it easier. Anytime we procrastinate on things, it's just still there waiting for us to be dealt with. And it'll feel so much better when you actually get started and start having the clients paying you. You'll be so happy that you launched.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for all your questions.
So
I'm excited for your launch. Thanks, Tamar. And Beth, I see your hand up and we've got a few more minutes. So let me unmute you. Beth, you're unmuted.
Hi. So I'm new to all of this. I just signed up for the Events That Change Lives. So I have a real basic question that may not apply, but follows on all of this. So I've taken a 5-year hiatus from doing this kind of work, and I feel like I have my signature talk okay, but I don't really have any idea what to do for a discovery session or what my program is going to look like. And I'm feeling like it's okay to go out there and do a signature talk, but is it better to really kind of know what I'm going to do after that? Because I feel like that's part of the whole, procrastination thing.
Well, what I find is a really great first step, and welcome to Events That Change Lives. We're happy to have you, Beth. And I know that, these questions, everybody's at different stages of their business. And so there's so many different questions. And I love that you're asking this piece because it's really important that when you offer a signature talk, you have a next step for people. And the next step in your case would be to offer them a free session, a free consultation with you so that you can find out more about what they're wanting, what they're needing. And then I would recommend offering one-on-one sessions with you. So you're not trying to develop a program right away, right out the gate. So you're offering one-on-one sessions. It's a way to just have more income flow coming in right at the beginning. And then you're also finding out a lot more about what people need so that then you can bring that in into a group ultimately. But start with the one-on-one, start building out the one-on-one practice first. So you don't need to know and have a whole program totally outlined when you do your signature talks. It's really about getting out there and giving the talk and being clear about how you can help people. And then you have those one-on-one conversations with them. Does that make sense?
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Good. Any other questions around that?
No, I just have to, break through the fear and go out and do it.
Yes, that is what we're all doing. Congratulations for getting out there. And for all of you that feel like, you want a group one day and that's on the horizon, I would really recommend building up your private practice to the point where you've got 10 or 12 private clients going first. And then one easy next step is you could have a once a month group call that's sort of like this, like an office hours call with you, where you're starting to invite people to say, hey, just as a bonus for all my private clients, I'd love to invite you in to this, group. And then either you do some short training segment and then some Q&A time with people in there, or however you want to run it. But that's one of the easiest ways, a little bit of training and then Q&A time. And that can get you start having the feeling for what it's like to lead the group virtually as a trajectory and steps. Thanks for your question, Beth.
Thank you. Very helpful.
You're welcome. And anyone else have a hand? I thought I saw a couple of physical hands, not the little virtual ones rise up. I need to be able to flip between the screens though. So if you want to just actually raise your hand on the screen, then I can see you. And if you're on the phone, again, it's *9. And we are right at our end time now. But if there were any last questions hanging out. No? All right. Looks like you're all set for right now. So use your Facebook group pages, whether you're in Events That Change Lives, ELA, Leverage, to be able to reach out to the coaches. The support is here for you. We have these calls, these office hour coaching calls twice a month. It's the first Thursday and the third Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific for an hour and a half. So you can mark that in your calendars. You want more support. So first and second Thursday of each month. So we'll be back in September with you on those calls. And then if you have other, your other program calls, you've already got those in your calendar. So reach out in the meantime for support on the Facebook pages. We're here for you. And you've got this. And I encourage you to just take a moment as we transition from this call into the rest of your day and lift your arms up over your head and get wide and expansive, because we can get all crunched up in front of our computers. And that sucks. Nothing good ever comes from the crunched up, bent over position. So opening up and look up and notice what changes even when you lift your head in that way and you're looking up. How much more expansive you feel. And just tune in for a moment, let your eyes close. And from this wide, expansive, open, looking up place, just ask yourself, what wants to happen next? What action could you take for yourself, for your business, for your future clients, current clients, that would be most beneficial? Just tune in to what answer comes through for you as you take 3 deep breaths, because we've got time. And dropping your chin back down, let your arms float down and go do it. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye, goddesses.